here in Providence, Rhode Island. The month of November moves on, and we've got Big East basketball tonight as the Delaware State Hornets from the MEAC come in to take on the 4-0 Providence Friars. A lot of change in college basketball, but Martez Robinson, a graduate student, leading the way scoring. Bensley Joseph, one of the 7 new faces for the Providence Friars. Hi, everyone. Along with Ben Parisi, Scott Graham, glad to be here with you tonight. And with 7 new faces that they are currently going through right now, Providence is trying to get another look here tonight in Game 5.
Yeah, another tune-up before that non-conference schedule beefs up to the next level. They still do not have their star leader, Bryce Hopkins, on the floor ready to go. But as Kim English told us today, another opportunity for the new pieces to the puzzle to gel together.
Hopkins got an opportunity to practice the last couple of days. He is close. Starting lineup sponsored by Jeep. There's only one. Robinson is a holdover, but there are 3 transfers in that lineup for Delaware State. Meanwhile, Jaden Pierre is the only regular starter from last year in the starting lineup. Corey Floyd Jr. did start 11 games last season for the Friars, but there are some new faces that are working their way through. One of them right there. Stesson Daco set to tip things off with Alston Andrews, Jeffrey Clark. One of the 3 referees tonight, along with Tony Henderson, Bill Covington Jr. Ready to go here in Providence, and the Friars control the tap. First meeting ever between these 2 teams.
And as it's customary at the AMP, you need to stand until the first bucket goes down for the PC Friars, as you know.
Throwing through. There's your first bucket. Take a quick seat. Which, by the way, helps us immensely here at center court, because I could not see that it was Floyd who shot that ball from off in the corner. Hornets, as we said, come in at 2-2 on the year. Back-to-back victories. On the drive, that's Smith and Robert Smith. Delaware State's going to take a lot of 2s in this game.
Yeah, Kim English talked about that today, and they lead off the basketball game with it. Mid-range jumper, a tough 2 contested. That's normally what they force from the opponent, so they got to lock in on that.
Joseph off the offensive glass, and there's Floyd once again into the lane. Got it.
There's one slogan you hear time and time again when you're at a Providence practice. It's play off 2 feet. Get to that paint. Be under control, be strong with the basketball, get a paint touch, whether you're a guard or a post, and then do your damage.
Now, Kim English, now in his 2nd season, has his team playing a tremendous brand of defense. You take a look at what this team is doing defensively. After a couple of years at George Mason, he came here last year, first Providence coach to win 20 or more in his first season, as Kasim Watson hits one from inside the 3-point arc.
Another tough pull-up, too.
And this is what we're talking about. This is why Kim English told us that ball security would be important. Delaware State is forcing 16.5 turnovers per game coming in.
Yeah, they get after you. A couple quick fouls early will not deter Stan Waterman's club from applying that ball pressure as soon as you cross half court. And even when they're in zone looks, the way they are now in this long 2-3, they have length at the top of the key, and they'll still pressure up on the wings.
Floyd has been the hot hand early, and the putback won't go. Will they get another try? They will. 3-point play opportunity was there. Instead, Daco's going to the line to shoot 2.
That is a wide load to take care of on the offensive boards. You need to know that corner 3s normally come off on the opposite side for offensive rebounding opportunities. And 7 feet 290 for Daco. Whew.
Well, the first one is good.
It's called get a second body on it. Well, defensive rebounding as a team.
You're probably not going to see a lot of 7-foot 290 in the MEAC.
No, you're not.
Second one, no good. Opening 2 minutes of play here. End-to-end action. And really strong half-court defense on both sides.
Kim English likes his crew with their length, strength, and athleticism, and that's on the perimeter as well as the front line.
Joseph nearly double dribbled. And now they'll set it back up again. Reversing the basketball. Delaware State is right there. Now the skip pass. They finally try to find an open man. They do in the corner. And rattling it home is Cardell.
See, that's a patented Providence half-court offensive possession with what they work on day in and day out. That ball hopping around like hot potato, more passing than dribbling, and full ball reversal from one side of the floor to the other.
And it's something they're going to have to do if Delaware State is going to continue to extend that zone. Nothing there but the shot. Robinson couldn't hit it. Providence wants to play quickly in this game. Right now, the zone is kind of slowing them down in the half court, but good ball movement without a dribble.
I don't like to let it stick.
And a good weak side rebound for Del State and Alston Andrews. Hornets down by 5 with the ball. That's Smith for 3. And once again, Providence strong on the glass.
Good job by the Hornets getting back defensively and then setting up that zone immediately in the half court. Defensive transition with the zone can get tricky at times if you're not communicating.
That is already going to be 2 fouls on Manir Newton, their starter. There's only one. Here in Providence, the home team with a 5-point lead here in the opening 4+ minutes of play. Even in a non-conference game, this crowd is going to get loud. They're going to get rabid. Providence has enjoyed amazing success here over the years in this building, regardless of what it was named in non-conference home games. Last 15 seasons, they're 108-6 in this building. They haven't lost a regular season non-conference home game since Penn beat them here back in November of 2019.
We know about those dunk days with Ed Cooley and now the AMP under Kim English, and this does not make a difference. It is just one of the toughest places to get a road win year in and year out in all of college basketball, let alone the Big East.
This will be an NCAA opening round site coming up in March. Shot clock winding down. Crowd trying to help. Pierre's 3 is good.
Pierre's perimeter stroke. That's 6 out of their first 8 attempts from behind the arc. Credit Delaware State for defending a little backdoor lob play they like to run with Corey Floyd, but Pierre really taking his stroke to the next level throughout his career.
8-point early lead. Little jump hook shots and air ball. Bouncing off a couple of arms. Here come the Friars again. Trying to press this early advantage. Cardett into the lane. They worked on that today during shoot around and walk through. That one you don't have to work on.
What timing. And it starts with the mindset for all of these Friar guards to get ping touches and get into the teeth of the defense off dribble penetration, and then just easy when you're able to throw it up to targets like that.
That is Oswin, the freshman from West Africa.
Nice job of Floyd holding his ground. Another tough 2 going down.
Kasim Watson, the transfer from Cal State Bakersfield, breaks the drought for Delaware State. Little trapping pressure now for the Hornets. And they force the turnover. Watson fading away, got him back to back.
They are not deterred by tough contested 2s. along the baseline. They're going to stay in this 3-2 look and extend out.
Pierre, deep three ball. And the rebound down for Watson. Delaware State hanging right in now. Team that won 15 games last year. That's been a major turnaround under Stan Waterman since he took over the program. Robinson lost the handle inside, trying to pass it. And now you've got a scrum for the ball. It's going to be held ball. Possession arrow belongs to the Hornets with 8 left on the timer.
Nice job by Joseph, getting it dirty in there. His body hitting the deck.
There's Stan Waterman, now in his 4th season at Delaware State. In his first year, they went 2-25, 0 in the MEAC. And his teams were ranked in Division I, Vin. They were 356 out of 358.
And that's rebuilding, and only place to go is up.
And they did. They were tied in the MEAC championship game with Howard with 5 minutes to go for a trip to the tournament last year. And that's just lack of recognition by Smith. He had to get that ball up on the rim. A shot clock violation for Delaware State.
That's just settling in, having to communicate and talk to each other. You saw multiple Hornets signal over to Stan Waterman, my fault. Won't happen again. And they staying with this 3/4 court token pressure.
Well, it's absolutely getting Providence off their game, and it's taking some more time off the shot clock as the Friars try to run their sets. You're already down to 10. Cross court, Abdur Rahim. He was shooting hot in shoot-around today. And rebound off the hand of one of the Hornets, Kasim Watson, so Providence will keep it.
That could have been the action, that long cross-court skip, diagonal to the corner that then could have got the hot potato cooking. Just more about finding the gaps and more about angles when you're in zone offense. It's not as deliberate as when you're operating man-to-man.
On the drive, Pierre lost the basketball, and that's going to be a turnover. Second Providence turnover. They're turning it over 14 times per game. At one of the blemishes over the course of these first 4 in which they've won them all.
It's been an emphasis with the staff recently, cutting them down, shaving off those turnovers. You know, Kim English said, listen, a lot of them are just going to come from this crew being able to play more and more together.
Shot clock winding down again. Here comes Smith stepping into an 18-footer. Providence is owning the glass here in these first 8 minutes.
See, I like this. Get into your action and don't let the defense set up.
Kim English was preaching that today. There's going to be times when we're going to want to just play fast, move the ball up the floor, and that's exactly what Joseph, the transfer from Miami, just did.
Well, lefty Joseph is able to deceivingly quick to put on the Jets. Ooh, that was crafty.
Robert Smith, the transfer from Westchester, who scored 1,300 plus points in his time there. 6-point game. Abdur Rahim driving. Once again, ball loose on the floor. Once again, Delaware State comes out with it.
Screw scrappy.
And Smith bought the contact. It's not a shot. It's going to be a foul on the floor, and it brings us to a timeout.
I'll tell you what, the 3-point shot is such a huge part of the Friars offense under Kim English, but he will take more of this. His guards being aggressive and the bigs finishing.
Providence by 6 here in the early going. There's Bryce Hopkins, who tore his ACL against Seton Hall on January 3rd. During last season, he was gone for the rest of the year. He's working his way back now. Preseason All-Big East first team. He looked a little bit like that type of player on the practice floor today. He's been picking up more and more practice reps. They say that he is close, but very likely would not end up playing tonight.
Yeah, no, he looked good. He looked good, and he looks in good shape. He's getting himself under. Obviously, they don't want to put an exact timeline on it, but I agree with you. I think Kim English was, hinting that it's a little more than close. It's very close, but we're not just talking about an important piece to the puzzle. We're talking about one of the truly best players in the league. And that's going to be such a big part of the Friars' success this year.
Robert Smith, and he has been the spark that started this Delaware State half-court offense. 6 points now in the early going. The Hornets back within 4. Oh, wow. You got to be 6'10" to go up and get that one.
He's got hops, too, so you can really throw it up there. But impressed, Delaware State has not come out with a deer in the headlights look. They have come out ready to ball this evening in Friartown.
Stepping in, firing and hitting, Kasim Watson. This is a veteran group for Delaware State. Watson, the youngest guy on the floor, is a sophomore. Coming as a transfer from Cal State Bakersfield. He's 4 for 4 from the floor now for 8 points. A little bit of a different look out of that zone, coming out to challenge the ball. Way up top. Deep three, and you're going to get a foul call. It's going to be on Oswin.
See, Barron is at his best on ball reversals when he's in a quick catch and shoot situation out of the rhythm of their offense. And it whipping around and swinging. That time kind of rose up, wasn't totally committed to shooting that one from the top of the key initially. You got to remember, this Delaware State team is hanging now, and this is without, I mean, Robinson is the leading scorer by far, and he hasn't even got himself cooking yet.
He's got the ball in his hands right here, got an early foul and took a quick seat back in the ball game now. Shot clock down under 10. There's the hot hand, and wow, Kasim Watson hits again. He had 6 points and 6 boards in their win against Cheney. He's got 11 here. We're only about a quarter of the way through.
He entered this one 0 for 2 on the season from downtown.
1 point ball game. And loose with the basketball. Neal's pass over to Abdur Rahim. Goes over the sideline, and he's got 4 turnovers now for the Friars.
The hot hand, and Stan Waterman's running. He's working it. Stay with that. But Kim English with a little hockey substitution there. 3 Friars in, 3 Friars out.
And what he did tell us was he was going to try to get a lot of guys some work in this game because they don't see the floor again until the battle for Atlantis next Wednesday. Robinson, wide open look, couldn't hit it.
And you'd expect the rotation by then to tighten up a bit.
Cardette into the lane, and he buys contact. It's going to send him to the free throw line. Another of the transfers on this Providence squad. Good, quick first step.
I think Cardette's going to be one of those options for Kim English that can do a lot of things that don't necessarily show up in the box score. He's got that big, wide, long, frame to where he's 6'6". He has that senior experience, and he's tough having to guard off the bounce. And he gets other opposing players into foul trouble sometimes. And I think he'll be good from this area at the charity stripe, drawing the 2 points.
He started more than 90 games now in his collegiate career, coming by way of Chicago State the last 2 years. Got his team back up by 3 now.
Can't put a price tag on that experience. And that length defensively on the perimeter.
Stepping in, and finally the cooling off for Kasim Watson. In transition, Providence would like to push it. Delaware State got back quickly again.
Yeah. You can tell defensive transition was an emphasis coming in for the Hornets. They're sprinting back, pointing. You haven't seen easy runouts for the Friars.
Tough passing lanes as well. Cardette from the corner, tossing an air ball, but turns into a long pass. As Substitution there to pay it off.
Sometimes when it's not pretty, you rely on your bigs to clean up the mess.
Lead back up to 5 and a chance to stretch it off the steal. Oh my. That one just simply got away on the bounce pass back to Cardette. Held ball is going to stay Providence's way when we come back. A missed opportunity. The slip on the fast break. Providence trying to take control. Hot hand early for Delaware State belongs to a kid from Philly.
11 of their 17 points, and he's a matchup nightmare. 6'9", long, mid-range game sophomore, has now shown that he can stretch the defense. Hot from the city of brotherly love. I'm sorry, I don't mean to impose on your stopping grounds, but Mr. Watson is a little on fire this evening, Mr. Graham.
Product from West Catholic High School. As we said, went to Cal State Bakersfield, played for a season, then sat last year. And one of the 3 transfers is part of the starting lineup for this Delaware State team.
You know, Martaz Robinson was at the top of the scouting report for Providence today. He's coming in averaging 20, and then everybody else was 11 and below. So Stan Waterman showing he could have some more options here on the road.
And there goes the ball onto the floor again, and looks like Robinson took the worst of that collision that happened right in front of the Delaware State bench.
Yeah, see, Jaden Pierre got it in the top of the head.
I think the top of Jaden Pierre's head is what got Martaz Robinson.
Yeah, Robinson caught it right in the chops.
Very slow to get up, and you get that kind of aggressive play when your team causes turnovers. Those teams are going to stress, get on top of a loose ball. That's exactly what Robinson did.
Yep. But I'll tell you what, you know, non-conference game, MEAC versus Big East, not the biggest crowd that the Amp's going to have this year. You know, Tuesday night, got to get your own energy cooking sometimes. These are the type of games, as we know, that sometimes the energy isn't at a, 8, 9, or a 10 early. That's about the 3rd or 4th time that these teams have been flying into the floor for loose balls. So you got to give both ball clubs credit here of getting after it early.
That was Cardette getting after it, trying to take it right to the rim, and he's going to earn a trip back to the free throw line. Foul call was on Raymond Somerville, big man who's playing with Newton on the bench with 2 fouls. He picks up his first. That started all 5 games so far, had 12 against Stonehill. Coming into the game averaging a tick under 10 points and 6.5 rebounds. As you said, I don't think there's any doubt about the fact that he's going to be a big part of what this rotation is throughout the season for Providence. He's got 7 now. The Friars back on top by 7.
Yeah, he draws a lot of fouls, and he's a better free throw shooter than his numbers have been thus far. I think we'll see that as we get closer to conference play.
Looping pass to the inside, taken away, and a tremendous play made by Corey Floyd. They say he stepped on the sideline before attempting to save it. Jeff Clark wants to know whether or not there should be a change in the reset of the shot clock. Yep, 1 foot on the line.
Yep.
The shot clock does not reset. Delaware State's got 16 to shoot. How about this? Bensley Joseph selling out to try to keep it alive. And all it means now is Delaware State's got the length of the floor to go and 12 to shoot.
That is a nightmare for the Tau boys. But this is the loudest that the Amp's been tonight, and they are applauding their hometown Friars hustle. We have had a lot of diving on the deck.
A little too strong for Perkins. As Sondico down with the rebound. That's Floyd. Got it from 3.
Kim English pointing to guys, applauding them, telling them what they did right. That's how he wants to play. Push the basketball middle and fill those lanes for shooters up along the sidelines ahead of the basketball.
First double-digit lead of the ball game for Providence. Trying to knock it free again, and they do.
Run with them. Oh.
And Pierre pulled it back out again, but they find the open man, Floyd. That could have been a big one, and the building would have come close to exploding.
Well, what's fun up here is that the crowd knows Kim English's offensive philosophy and style. They prepare for those threes in transition.
Stan Waterman saw that his team was getting a little bit raggedy in the half-court offense, and he calls for a timeout at the 6:23 mark. 9-0 run for the Friars.
Yeah, and they hung tight, and it was really because of options other than Martez Robinson. But now they're at the point, because of the perimeter shooting of the Friars, to where you can be getting yourself into a danger zone. You're down 10. It's the home stretch of the first half. Let's regroup here and try to scrap and claw, get this back down to single digits. Let's not let this one get away from us before the halftime break.
I'd go so far as to say as well that Kim English, when he talks about what this game is going to mean in terms of getting ready and finding things out, is learning a lot about his team and learning a lot about how they deal with an aggressive defense, because this is not the last one they're going to see.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And it was almost, you know, him looking at it as a refreshing way. Listen, let's make no mistake about it. Kim English is chomping at the bit for Bryce Hopkins to get back on the floor, but you know, it was a nice perspective to see as at the same time how excited he is about seeing these different combinations and these guys able to get some more minutes before that non-conference schedule gets a little meatier, as we know, right around the corner.
We talked about the new trend in college basketball with the transfer portal and all the changing faces. And he said, you know what, it's almost the norm now. You're almost used to coming into a season and realizing you're going to have a completely different look on the floor. Perkins pulled the string on it. Oswin the rebound. Providence gunning for their biggest lead of the night so far. Justin Fernandez on the floor for the first time for the Friars. And that's where Joseph goes with the pass. Fernandez's three is good. 13-point edge for Providence.
They love those long diagonal skips. Almost like they're hitting a wide receiver across the middle. Direct line passes to the corner for shooters.
And contact and a foul call on the take to the hoop. It's going to be on Rich Barron.
The best offensive action at times is when that ball's not hitting the deck, and these Friars have multiple options from downtown to hit you with.
And you say options, that's what Kim English is trying to stress with his team in the offense. He wants his players to have options to be able to attack, to make a play, or to catch to shoot. Similar offensive model to what Jay Wright perfected at Villanova.
Yeah.
That pass just much too strong through the hands of Austin Andrews.
And it was interesting to hear Kim, you know, actually mention that and allude to that, to, you know, Jay's old style and offensive philosophy, you know, teaching more how to play rather than plays. Not so scripted structures. Move it, play off 2 feet, move the rock, don't bounce. After 2 or 3 dribbles, get rid of it and go. And, you know, focus more on spacing rather than always screening per se.
Barron for 3. Rebound down to Watson. Well, that movement of the ball and spacing, that 2018 national championship team, it was like a textbook for Villanova. Here's Perkins from the corner. Had 1 foot on the line, so just a 2, but that stops a 12-0 Providence run.
Martez Robinson back at the scores table. Let's see if he could get going for these final 4.5 minutes for his Hornets.
It's going to be a foul call on the dive for the loose ball. It'll be on Kasim Watson, his first.
Physical first half.
Very physical first
taking
half.
Some shots, bodies flying. Hope you notice I've upped my game as well. I've thrown a couple more elbows in there, press row to you.
Well, we haven't done a game yet this year. I'd forgotten about the elbow.
Thank you.
Miss on the three for Abdur Rahim.
Nice flare screen.
What a good job recovering by Barron. That's a heck of a move. Wow. Robert Smith showing some skills right there, up and under.
Talk about a high degree of difficulty.
He's got 8, his team within 9. We're coming up on the 4-minute mark.
Man-to-man for Delaware State now.
After spending a good chunk of this first half showing that zone look. Another alley-oop. This one won't go, but a late whistle and a foul call. It's going to be on Raymond Somerville. And it means Oswald's going to the free throw line when we come back. 3:48 left to go first half of play. It is Providence on top by 9. Minutes and 48 seconds, still halftime. Providence on top by 9. And coming up at the half, we'll take a look back at the first half. And Mike and Casey have a preview of Purdue and Marquette coming up later tonight on FS1. It's all coming up at the half, presented by Jeep.
That guy right there, Martez Robinson, needs to get himself cooking. Coming in averaging 20 points per game. He's 0 for 2 from the field in just under 10 minutes. On the other side, 15 of the Friars' 21 attempts have been from deep.
So Aswin Arunser, the left-hander, now 2 for 8 on the season from the free throw line for the freshman.
Hey, he's 6'10", but he's bouncy. He could throw it 13, 14 feet in the air, go get it.
Free throw line not his friend right there, and Delaware State will try to cut into this Providence lead. Leading scorer for the Hornets, Martez Robinson, still's got a goose egg in the scoring column. Created his own space and hit.
He had 30 points against Virginia Tech at the start of the season. If they're going to hang around here, eventually he's got to get himself cooking.
Pulling up and hitting is Pierre. That's good ball movement by the Hornets. Good recovery by Pierre. And how about that ball fake? But Smith left it short.
Nice recoveries, perimeter D by the Hornets.
And a good job of getting inside for the rebound for Alston Andrews. Kasim Watson has cooled off after his hot start, hitting his first 4. I should say first 5. 2:20 to go till halftime. Up on top again. And a drifting on that 3. Along the inside, though. Rejected. Watson got that ball on the way up from Rich Barron and sent it over the end line.
Barron, big, strong perimeter body in there, banging around with the front line. Ooh. Almost a little tap dancing.
Delaware State does defend, don't they? They are active in every possession, challenging every pass.
Jumping passing lanes. This Providence coaching staff talked about ball security, not turning it over. It's been an issue at times for them. And it was because of the ball pressure from what they've been seeing on film for Delaware State. Nice curl.
And yet, even with all that ball pressure, they've only turned it over 4 times here in the first half. And once again, in the passing lane, trying to set up the open three. Providence is going to be left with 5 on the timer to shoot.
Well, it's been deflection city so far. Kim English is going to draw a little something up.
Use it or lose it timeout for Providence here at the 1:59 mark left here in the first half. Still in the non-conference portion of the schedule and will remain there for the better part of another month. But then it'll be Big East Conference time. And this is where teams are right now in the top 25. UConn right there trying to win it all again. 3rd in the country. Creighton, Marquette, St. John's. Providence an also receiving votes team. Last year, after the loss of Bryce Hopkins, they had to figure out who they were, what they were going to be, and they did. They finished strong. They got to the semifinals of the Big East tournament at Madison Square Garden. A lot of people thought that team that won 21 games had done enough to be an NCAA tournament team.
That's right.
Ended up going to the NIT.
And so did Seton Hall, and so did St. John's. And you're talking to all of the coaches a few weeks ago at Big East Media Day. They feel like half the team could easily get in this year.
Joseph the miss. If at first you don't succeed, Asondico gets it to go and stretches it back now to a double-digate lead.
You've got a gang rebound and have multiple bodies inside to battle with him in the paint.
And it's going to be a foul call on Bensley Joseph. That's his first. And nowhere near shooting at this point. Just the 4th foul called on Providence here in this first half. Robinson in among the trees. Found the open man, and that's an air ball way up over the top. Shot clock doesn't reset. Ball will stay with Delaware State with 11 left to shoot. There's Kareem Watson, twin brother of Kasim Watson, who tossed the air ball that his brother picked up off the floor.
Friars have been aggressive without giving up fouls.
On the run, off the glass, no good for Perkins. And Joseph will trot it across half court. That's where you figure they could dominate if they get the ball down low. That is hard to stop. A body that big and wide, even with 2 men on him.
And that was specifically called from Kim English on the sidelines. He's always given them freedom to let launch from the three-point land, but he was scripting that for that back screen to take place from Corey Floyd for the big fella in the post.
Sondico, a transfer from St. Joseph's. Played in 25 games and started 15 of them for the Hawks last year. He is from France, attended high school there for 2 years before coming to the United States. And that stretches the Providence lead further. 5 now for Krista Sondico. 13-point game with under a minute left to play here in the first half. Delaware State just struggling to try to find an open lane to drive or to pass. And another Hornets turnover, their 5th.
Kim English is going to be thrilled with this half-court defense, not just because of Providence's aggressiveness and only giving up 23 points. It's what you alluded to earlier, is not allowing the Hornets to do damage from the free throw line. That's an art in basketball, aggressiveness without fouling.
They went right back to the well once again, and once again the big man gets fouled on the way in. Andrews picks up the foul. Back to the free throw line now with 24.8 left in the half.
One shove too many. He's about to pull the carpet out and cause that travel. Back leaning in with his shoulders.
And misses on the front end of the 1-and-1. So Delaware State can hold it for the final shot here with the shot clock turned off. They get into the hands of Robinson. He checks the clock. Now gets it back on the run. Way too strong. And Floyd is not going to get a shot away as the half comes to an end.
Well, we love to talk about the Friars offense at times, so Kim English just wanted to talk about the Friars defense today at shoot-around. He's going to be very, very pleased with this team defensive effort so far the first 20 minutes at the Amp.
And enough offense here for Providence to enjoy a 13-point lead at the break. "20 minutes of basketball left to go. Providence with a 13-point lead. Second in the Big East in three-point percentage defense. Third in the Big East in scoring and field goal percentage defense. And it showed as the Delaware State Hornets put up just 23 points in that first half.
It was a good team defensive effort. I thought Kim English's perimeter especially did such a good job getting after it from a ball pressure perspective, which is what he really got into his guys about, and without fouling was key in those first 20 minutes against the Hornets.
Well, if you want some perspective about how good this defense has been in the early part of the season for Providence, the last time Friars held their first 5 opponents under 70 points per game, which is what they're on track to do tonight if this holds, the 1982-83 season.
How about that?
Wow. That's a defense that is playing at a different level right now. And hoping to carry that over into the decidedly tougher portion of what it is that they're going to be dealing with down at Atlantis, and then, of course, in the Big East. Delaware State in the baby blue with red and white trim.
They'll switch out. Big on little.
That is a lot of pivoting and movement from Robert Smith. Couldn't get it to fall.
That's the luxury with the 6-foot length and frame of Cordette. Switch out on those pick and rolls defensively.
Feeding the post. Good ball movement, but good recovery by the Hornets. Now the shot clock down to 8. Floyd hard to the basket, and on the fadeaway can't get it to fall. As Sondico, though, gets himself a rebound, and they'll get another shot at it. Oh, my. That baseline came wide open for Corey Floyd.
But the first time he turned down a 3 when he took that tough one, you don't get more high percentage than that type of look.
Biggest lead of the ball game now for Providence. And spinning into the lane. Opportunity, 2 of them for Delaware State. Can't get it to go down. Martez Robinson is a frustrated shooter right now. Held to just 2 points in that first half, averaging 20 on the year.
But he is a talented scorer, but it's not often you see this type of length defensively on the perimeter that the Friars have.
And that's going to be a foul call on Joseph. Tried to get around the screen. Picks up his second.
Floyd is 6'4". He can rise in a hurry.
That's about the easiest path to the basket on a drive that Providence has had all night.
That we've seen this evening, yeah. Without 2 or 3 bodies flying and hitting the deck.
Coming our way.
Right into your paws.
Yep.
Good hands.
Yeah, but I found the open man, too, which is the important thing. Hornets finally get one to go down on the tap follow.
That's Kasim Watson. Did a lot of damage in the first half. And he's aggressive and tries to get to the front of the cup off the bounce.
That'll be a reach-in foul.
13 of their 25.
Martez Robinson called for the personal on the reach-in. Hey, you talk about what it is that playing a team like Delaware State is going to do for Providence. What is playing a team like Providence going to do for Delaware State?
Yeah, that's a good point. And I think when you go against teams that are longer than you, maybe a little stronger and athletic at some positions, I think it makes you tighten up and be a little bit more fundamental. So, maybe you don't develop some bad habits as you start playing teams that you match up closer to.
Smith seemed to change directions in midair. Banking that one home to get his team back within 11. And you're going to get another foul call. Munir Newton, who spent most of the first half on the bench with 2, picks up his 3rd.
Now, Robert Smith is somebody who half of his shot attempts are normally from three-point land downtown, but athletic and can get out and go as well.
Joseph around that screen. They chased him well around it. Hornets aren't giving up anything easily. Quick reach, nearly a takeaway. Shot clock at 5. And somebody left someone wide open as Floyd was unattended under the basket.
Just a communication breakdown. They weren't frozen. They were trying to rotate and play hard.
So Newton this time is fouled on his way to the basket.
There's just one too many Friars for the back line of the defense. Here comes the loose basketball. You see Robinson goes out to take Pierre instead of dropping to the backside. That's just a tough loose ball play.
Newton, a senior out of Philadelphia and Archbishop Wood. Stan Waterman recruits well in the Philadelphia and Delaware area. Newton comes by way of Albany, played there last year in 32 games. There's Waterman.
He misses this one. Yeah, it is a big deal in Friartown. Everyone just won a free original Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich.
That is a happy crowd, right?
It's the loudest it's been all evening.
And there was no drama to it. I mean, we've got 16 and a half minutes left. They've already got their sandwich. Long range, way too strong. Long rebound, covered up. And Robinson driving, buys contact, no call, but banks it home anyway.
It's impressive.
Only 2 made field goals for Delaware State's leading scorer on the night. Barron on the drive. That 3 doesn't go for Asandiko. And the ball, last touch, Delaware State. We're going to get a foul call. So we reach a timeout on the floor with 15:47 left to go. Look high above the area here in Providence. Home team on top by 11 with 15:47 left to go. It has been a hand-to-hand combat kind of a game so far. Kim English's team showing well defensively, struggling a little bit more offensively against this very aggressive Delaware State defense.
Yeah, they've been pesky.
To clarify, before we went to the break, it was not a foul call, but simply knocked out of bounds by Delaware State. So 20 on the timer, and Providence a sideline inbound now. Still trying to find an offensive answer for some of those easy looks like that one. And Barron missed it. Kasim Watson the rebound. Sophomore is having himself a strong night. Robinson got it. If he gets going, Delaware State, hanging around now by single digits, could make this a game again.
And that's his bread and butter. He loves that mid-range area, tough twos. He's not going to just bomb away from deep three-point land. That's not his game.
Again, a hand in the passing lane from Alston Andrews. It'll stay Providence's way. You know, for a while, people talked about it being a lost art, that mid-range jumper. Now it's not only a lost art, but most teams veer away from that and veer toward the three-pointer. Long range, again, no good for Pierre. But again, a long rebound as Providence continues to own the glass here tonight. Another second chance opportunity, and they throw it away. Perkins with a steal. There goes Robinson. In traffic. Can't get it to fall. No contact on the shot. Pierre driving. That one tickles the rim and falls.
Pierre has great change of speed, change of direction. He's deceivingly quick. He'll pump the brakes, he'll then turn the jets on, and loves to play in that in-between transition world of not a fast break, but not half-court basketball either, and pick his spots.
Foul call on Abdur Rahim, his second, and a three-point play opportunity, and that pretty move by Watson.
He has a lot of tools offensively in his 6'9" toolbox.
And yet free throws have been a struggle here tonight for Delaware State. They show that trapping pressure again. The other thing the Hornets do well, they communicate defensively. They are constantly calling out switches, screens, and location of the basketball. And it shows. Abdur Rahim catch and shoot. Got it. As we said, he was drilling him during shoot-around today. His first three of the night.
Kim English gave a little look to his team along the sideline saying, you're lucky you got bailed out there by a late shot clock three.
Down along the inside, you're going to get a foul call on the freshman Mila.
Barron's comfort zone is normally behind the three-point arc. That time got himself deep. Able to connect with a big one. Extending that cushion from 9 back up to 12.
And a throwaway on the inbound for Delaware State. First turnover of the second half, 6th of the ball game.
Hey, what I like about this zone that Delaware State drops back into is Kasim Watson at 6'9" is usually at the top of the key. This time they're matching him and his brother up there. Look at that length.
This time they leave the side unprotected. Catch and shoot. Barron makes him pay for it.
That's Barron's bread and butter. Get the feet set. Find that open air space to get it off.
His first three of the night. And the lead now balloons to 15. And you're going to get another foul call. On the reach-in, it'll be on Barron.
It's Pierre picking that spot. That's another pink touch. They really emphasize paint touch by the guards. Get 2 feet into the paint there. Suck in the defense and find those open areas along the perimeter.
Good ball movement. Robinson trying to create his own space, and he just simply lost the basketball. Trying to turn the corner, he fell.
thought he went a little too deep into the spider's web. He had the 1-2 dribble pull-up jumper right there. Gets Pierre to bite. I don't think you got to keep driving baseline.
He had already lost the ball by the time any contact was made. 12.5 to go. Providence enjoying a 15-point lead. Little pick and roll. And an easy two for Oswin.
That's pretty because they isolated the floor. Nothing but the two of them in that two-man dance.
Biggest lead of the night for the Friars. Hela knocked it away. It'll stay Delaware State's way with 13 left to shoot.
This is pretty. The hesitation to drag it out, increase a little bit more spacing, made it work.
We've got a timeout on the floor. 12:06 left to play here as Providence tries to stretch it to 5-0 to start the season. Home crowd enjoying a 17-point lead, biggest of the night for Providence. Ken English's team wrap up this early portion of the schedule with the 5 home games, and next week they head to the battle for Atlantis. They'll play 3 games there.
He had a great line today with you and I at shoot around. He said, we want to play agendaless basketball.
Yep.
And that's really sharing the rock and not worrying about who always connects. They have 13 assists on 18 field goals.
Well, they are moving the ball and they are sharing the ball. Delaware State is just playing a very good defensive game throughout in this one and really holding the shooting percentage down for the Friars. That's a 3. And Watson, who had the hot hand early, is cooled, especially from distance.
And he still has nearly a half of his team's points.
Abdur Rahim, deep 3 ball. Grad transfer from Georgia, son of the NBA star. That is something that he does well, and that's going to be an added dimension for the Friars this year. On the run, that's a pretty big man to big man play as Watson is going to have a chance at a 3-point play.
Abdur Rahim came into this one with 15 of his 17 shot attempts from downtown. So you want to talk about an aspect of the game being your bread and butter. Kim English will take more of that. I'll tell you what, we talked about Martez Robinson scoring at the start of this one, but the Hornets are now playing off of all options. And what a basketball game tonight for Kasim Watson. 17 of his team's 35 points, 8 for 14 from the field, getting it done on the boards, not fouling. Out of their defensive pressure in the half court of their zone, his length has bothered Providence's perimeter shooting at times. And he just needs a little bit more help here for the home stretch if you're Stan Waterman.
57% from the floor, as we said. Came from sitting out a year last year at Cal State Bakersfield. Caps off the 3-point play. Still a big mountain for Delaware State to climb now, down by 17.
And watching him courtside away from the action, he's been a leader, he's been vocal, he's been pointing, he's been communicating with his teammates, he's been a coach at times out there. This young man's got to be a joy to coach out of Philadelphia.
Shot clock down to 4.
I don't know if they were aware.
They were not. If they were, it was one spin too many for Jaden Pierre, and a shot clock violation results in the 7th turnover of the night for Providence.
That's where you got to talk to each other offensively. We're always talking about talking to each other defensively in hoops.
That's a good quick first step.
Yeah.
Statistical got the blocked shot. You're going to get a foul call as the loose ball is fought for. That is on Surgers, his second. I would say the game has cooled down offensively. And that might heat it right back up again.
Turned it up a notch again.
Under 10 left to play. Tick under the biggest lead of the night for Providence. Watson can't hit there. Another rebound for the Friars. Another quick hand in there, but Providence will keep it.
Hornets got to try to get some secondary baskets, maybe send another body or two to the offensive glass. Just too easy when you have an option like Statistical along the baseline that you could dump off to at that size. Like you said, you do not see 7 foot 290 everywhere you go.
Once again, diving for the loose ball. That's Justin Fernandez on the floor. Held ball. Providence has the possession arrow, and they'll have 9 left to shoot.
The big fella wanted to get into his drop step and spin-off game, which he has when his back's to the basket there. He got poked away.
And no change of possession, so no change in the shot clock. 9 left to shoot for Providence. A couple of trips ago, they got caught in a shot clock violation. You see the bench point differential, 18-2 for the Friars. That pretty much represents the difference in the game. Statistical fired it hard off the glass, and the rebound down for Delaware State. On the run, easy look, and Watson just lost control of the shot as he was shooting it. And long range for Fernandez, his second 3 of the night.
He came into this one without hitting one from deep, so it's got to feel good in the confidence department for him.
Corey Perkins answering back, but with a 2. That's not a trade-off that Delaware State wants right now. Stuck 20 with 8.5 to go.
And they've hit plenty of long 2s.
Again, that was pretty well scouted by this Providence team. They were going to be comfortable with Delaware State taking those 2-point shots. Shot clock at 4. On the step back. Here's another 3. Bensley Joseph rains it down. And Providence leads it by 23.
Leading scorer for Kim English, the Miami transfer lefty. Most shot attempts, most 3-point shot attempts by far.
Fernandez called for the reach-in as we get to a timeout on the floor with 7:54 to go.
Well, it's not uncommon to see the Friars kick it up the sideline or skip past it for open shooters along the perimeter, but showing a little bit more to the 3-point game now.
Lots of smiles. They're going to be there when your team is under 8 minutes away from going 5-0 to start the season.
I think I got her to smile in front of them. They got the dance moves cooking. I'll tell you, this box score is very deceiving, and you wouldn't think initially that it should be a 23-point lead the way it is, because one team shooting 42.3% from the field, 42%, the other team shooting 47%. One team has 18 field goals made, the other team has 22 field goals made. It's closer than a 23-point game. The difference is Delaware State 1 for 6 from downtown, and the Friars have 10 3-pointers. The 3-point arc has changed this entire basketball game in the second half.
So it'll be Corey Perkins, son of Hornets assistant coach Shahid Perkins. at the line and making the first. Perkins was an all-rookie team member back in 2022. He started 3 games last year and broke his hand and ended up missing the rest of the season. Hitting on a pair, he's got 6 now. It's a 21-point game. Providence is getting more open looks from 3 now than they've had all night, and they're hitting them.
You know, Floyd was unselfish, but what a heads-up move by Joseph to get to that opposite corner off the baseline drive and find that open area. This is what's open when the baseline's not crowded. Sink and fill that shooting pocket right to perfection, right on time with that pass from Floyd as well.
Providence is getting better floor spacing now, and you got to imagine that Delaware State might be winding down a little bit the way they've chased the ball for this entire ball game.
I think this is back to that cohesiveness that Kim English was talking about that he wanted to get to. A lot of these guys are better than their shooting numbers. They just don't have as many reps as he'd like of playing games together.
Smith just turned and fired without really squaring up to the basket. Fernandez wanted another. Sandico got the rebound, but he pushed off to get it, and he's going to get called for the foul. His second. Providence is up over the limit at the 6:46 mark.
I didn't think he went over the back on that one. They might have given a courtesy hustle call, whistle to the Hornets. Kim English might feel the same way.
Seems like it.
Unless he's inviting Jeff Clark to lunch.
That's also possible.
Okay.
Unlikely, but possible. And Manir Newton gets his first point of the night. Transfer from Albany. Get some good run time for these Providence players too, and as we said, if you joined us late, they've got a long layover until they play their next game. Not for 8 days. 1 out of 2 for Newton. And we're going to get a foul call on the rebound on Martez Robinson. That's his third. Came wide open for Joseph. They closed on him, and he still had the body control for a shot at a 3-point play. That was our angle right behind him. It was wide open down the lane, and then suddenly there were 3 light blue jerseys.
Bensley Joseph, the 6'2" lefty, with a soft right touch off the window at the end, making a highly difficult shot look easy.
105 games, 29 starts over 3 seasons at Miami. Another guy who brings instant experience. That's one of the things the transfer portal does, is it gets you players who are replacing the ones who are leaving that have collegiate basketball experience.
That's right. That is the trade-off. Go through tougher Novembers of gelling, trying to mold.
Shot clock down to 4. Tough left-handed shot for Dean Shepard, and he's got a shot at a 3-point play.
But for all those early season challenges, you're right, you still have an accelerated learning curve. You get a ton of minutes. Speaking of making a difficult shot look easy.
Well, and the addendum to that is if you've got experienced players, they've played in other systems, you've got to get them to be on the same page with what your system is and then play together in it.
That's a great point. We're not even talking philosophy. We're just talking minutes. It's a whole nother spectrum of this thing.
Under 6 left to play.
That's how they like to move that thing. Hot potato, move it, get off that bounce.
A better pass there probably was a three. Instead, Floyd gets it knocked away. Now you're down to 3 left to shoot. Joseph from another county. And an offensive rebound and another shot at it thanks to Jaden Pierre.
And that's deflating, because that was one of Delaware State's better half-court defensive stands here this evening. Just forgot about Pierre and a guard offensive rebounding.
Once again, deep into the shot clock, and this time just outright thievery. Robinson picking Floyd's pocket and driving down the lane. He bought the contact with Pierre. And Martez Robinson's going to the free throw line with 5:11 left to go.
And Floyd wasn't aware of the shot clock that time either before he picked his pocket.
So Martez Robinson averaged almost 16 points per game last year. One time back in high school, Baltimore Player of the Year in 2020.
He came into this one shooting 46% from the field, 44% from downtown, 20 per game. As we mentioned earlier, 30 points against V-Tech to start the season for Stan Waterman.
Stan Waterman had a legendary high school coaching career in Delaware. Won 571 games at Sanford.
Oof.
8 state championships. And just 1 out of 2 for Robinson.
Violation.
Yep, he had a violation on Oswin. So that'll give Robinson another opportunity. Couldn't pay it off. Coming up on 5 left to go. And Providence has been in control for the most part this entire second half. 13-point lead at the break. It ballooned. The lead's been over 20 for a while now, and another easy 2 on the inside for Oswin.
All right, Drew's second defender to try to bottle him up, and nobody dropped on the backside for the big.
And off the turnover, here come the Friars again. Are we watching a replay?
Just fun now, Friars sharing the rock.
71-44. And that one knocked out of bounds. It'll stay the same way with 12 left to shoot for the Hornets. And some applause for Corey Floyd coming off. Good minutes here tonight. Some early scoring. Off the inbound, stays the same way. The other thing that Kim English is going to like that he's seeing right now is you got a 71-44 lead, and you're still contesting every inbound pass.
Yeah, you know the message to the guys is don't worry about the scoreboard. We're still at the point in the season where you got to show some stuff here to me. Because this rotation is going to tighten as you start playing Oklahoma and beyond.
And you're going to add Hopkins to the rotation.
And there's a ton of minutes that come off the board, exactly.
You joined us late, you're a Providence fan. Bryce Hopkins not playing tonight, has practiced more extensively the last several days. Basically going pretty hard in practice yesterday. As part of the shoot around today, he is almost there. After that devastating torn ACL that he suffered against Seton Hall back on January 3rd.
As Kim English alluded to today, almost means very close. And that 8-day layoff that you mentioned earlier, I'm sure helps drastically in that department as well.
9 now for Robinson. But the lead's still 25 for Providence as we cross 4 minutes left to go. Oh my. Yep. 6 for 6 now for the big man. And he's got a chance at a three-point play when we come back. Right now, Providence had to fight for everything early in this game, is having a good time offensively.
Yeah, we saw a lot of three-point shooting and fast breaks earlier, but it's just been dunk city and a lot of fun down the stretch.
Home team keeps playing well here tonight. Big lead over Delaware State with 3:52 left to go. And Kim English getting a chance to see some of his new additions showing what they can do here in his second half.
You know, they've done a terrific job of sharing the rock. I mean, it's not often you look at a box score. I don't care who the opponent is. You have 20 assists on 27 field goals. And that means that basketball was moving.
That's Perkins.
It was not sticking. You didn't see isolation, one-on-one, selfish basketball. 11 three-pointers executed, and as he told us today, now getting opportunities to play other guys some minutes.
And once again, that one's not going to fall. The rebound down for Watson. This is going to be the first time in a long, long time that Providence has held the first 5 opponents of the year under 70 points. Hasn't happened since the 82-83 season. That's where they are right now, right in the early statistics, one of the better defensive teams in the Big East in non-conference play.
That was pre-Rick Pitino, Providence College.
Pre that 87 Final Four team, one of 2 they've had. The other in 1973. That's just too easy for Jaden Pierre.
And, you know, for all the talk about how Jaden Pierre has taken his three-point shot and his perimeter stroke to the next level throughout his career, we also have to make note of what we just saw there, and that's offensive toughness. He put on muscle this year to that upper body frame, and that is going to pay dividends for Kim English when they get into those battles of conference play in January and February.
He took that quick timeout to get a couple of players in. Neil Van Daniels comes in for the first time tonight. Anton Bonk in for the first time this evening. And the ball knocked out of bounds. Eli Delorier also in for Providence for the first time tonight. Now Fernandez will check back in. 2:18 to go. Playing it out. Catch and shoot, that's the kind of night it's been for Delaware State's leading scorer. And he's fighting for the loose ball. That's a held ball. Hornets have the possession arrow.
You know, you made a great point to this, Scott, earlier. Like, we're 38 minutes into this basketball game, and it hasn't been close. And these Hornets are still scrapping and clawing and giving everything they got to Stan Waterman.
And now Stan Waterman's going to get a couple of his bench players in for a couple of minutes of action here late.
What a job by Kasim Watson.
Now you got a whistle off the ball. And a foul call against Providence. Delorier gets called on the foul away from the ball, and it's 2 shots now coming for Delaware State. Well, the school and the program kind of steered into the baby blue. Back in my days when I was the voice of Delaware State football, it was an accent color on all red uniforms and helmets. I kind of like what they've done here. It's got a San Diego Clippers kind of feel to it.
And, you know, and nothing against baby blue and red, but I'd like to go back to that a little bit.
Yep.
The voice of the Delaware State Hornets football over 30 years ago when you were a young buck.
1990, 91, 92. Some of the most fun I had doing college football games. They played some barn burner games in some big venues, including, I was telling you earlier, under Bill Collick, the head coach, a 37-9 fourth quarter deficit at Liberty, and they won the game.
So are you crediting Delaware State with the fact that you became a recognizable NFL voice later on?
I think you'd be leaping there a little bit, but sure. I got the chance to do some football games. Still good ball movement. Fernandez camped out, can't hit it, but Bonk, an offensive rebound, reset of the shot clock. The rebounding margin tonight, colossal for Providence.
Big time. The crowd getting excited here. They want some new faces in the scoring column.
That's a three. That's another offensive rebound. 47-24. They've almost doubled them up. And Bonk finally gets a payoff for it.
And look at the smile on the big fella's face. That's what it's all about.
Well, he worked for that basket. He had 2 offensive rebounds.
That's great.
Providence is going to go to 109-6 in the last 15 seasons of non-conference home games. 31-1 in their last 32. And that one rattles home. May not seem like much, but holding a team under 50, that could be a something to point toward in these final 24 seconds.
And it's great for your defensive scoring. Points allowed average, obviously.
Fernandez a little too strong once again. Oh. And another offensive rebound. And that's going to play it out as the shot clock turns off.
Do you think he's the fan favorite?
I think he just had himself a very good time in the last 2 minutes. And Providence coasts home to a 30-point victory. 78-48 to go to 5-0 in the year.
Kim English's crew shared the rock tonight. They shot it from deep as a group, but more importantly, the way they rebounded the ball and got after it defensively without fouling and still without Bryce Hopkins. Another non-conference tune-up before the Oklahoma matchup.
And one more opportunity to see how all of these new pieces fit together. When Hopkins comes back, Providence Friars hoping that they are going to be playing at full strength. If you know anything about Kim English's teams over the course of time, they will be a competitive squad, no doubt. Playing in front of the home crowd, they run it up to 5-0 with another fine defensive effort and a great job of sharing the ball and hitting the boards here tonight against a game and tough Delaware State Hornets team. Our final score, Providence 78, Delaware State 48. For Vin Parisi and for our entire crew here in Providence, we thank you for watching. Good night, everyone.